Hello, peoples of the internet. I just wanted to say thank you to the people who are leaving comments. I really appreciate that. And I also think that it's another way for us as a community to help each other. So, oftentimes, if people are sharing their stories down there, those stories will also be important to other people to hear because they will normalize something in their own existences or help them to get that aha moment of figuring something out for themselves that potentially they hadn't figured out before just by vulnerable story sharing. And so I really appreciate that. Secondly, in the room today, I have Roscoe, I have Franny the Frenchie, and I have Evie. So if you're hearing dog sounds, it's them. Holding love and space for us. A little dog energy in the room. Today, I am planning to talk about a little bit of a heavier topic that I think is very important to talk about in this time. And I think with the David Wilcock stuff coming out about his apparent suicide, I think it's good to talk about some of these spaces that are in the human being that would be good for us to tend to. And I don't have a script or anything like that. I never have a script. I'm always just kind of grabbing a string and pulling a string all the way through. And I'm probably going to hold some space in here a few times to find that string because some of these teachings were last year and the year before. And what I find is that the information that's been coming through is harder and harder to remember because we're not meant to live in our heads. We're meant to be living in our hearts. So, and a lot of people might be noticing that in this time period that it's hard to remember words sometimes. It's hard to remember memories sometimes. Your head just feels like it's like numbed out and not really exactly working well. And I do think that that's part of us practicing to drop down into our bodies and to live from the heart head connection, not just the head, which is the slavery matrix. In the slavery matrix, we live from the head, and the head is a lot of intellectualization. And it's a lot of planning and thinking about. And even if you look at the toxic patriarchal triangle at the top of that triangle, you're going to see a lot of intellectuals. And so remember, everybody plays a role. And so in freedom, it's a circle, and everybody is equally playing their own roles. And so, all right. So, what I was shown in the past is that humans that live from disconnect, and that's a lot of humans in this time period, that are not connected to their own soul spaces and getting information, conscious information from their own center of selves, and are in emotional states floundering. So in dysregulated emotional states, just, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. When we're in those spaces without assisting ourselves there, there's the upper emotions, which tend to be the good emotions. And those are things like happiness, relaxation, joy, humor potentially, but humor is actually, a thing of its own. And then on the bottom half of the scale, we have things like anxiety, frustration, annoyance, anger, rage. And then right at the very bottom, we have helplessness, hopelessness. And it's that space that I want to speak about today, the space of helplessness and hopelessness and panic, fear, terror oftentimes is down in that space as well. So in time periods like we're in right now, when we have things that are extremely expensive, so just existing is expensive because we're in an inflation. Gas is expensive, food is expensive, bills are expensive. And I was just reading an article the other day that said foreclosures in the United States are the highest that they've ever been. And in these time periods, people are losing a lot. And that's that the right to grieve, the ability to grieve space that we were talking about. And when people lose a lot, oftentimes they're going to go down that scale and into those low energies, those low emotions like failure and helplessness and hopelessness. And when we go down into those spaces have a life of their own. If you remain within the disconnected self and you're in those emotional spaces, if you're not accompanying yourself even there, if you're not accessing your own love and safety, the gods were showing me they have these record players. So each layer will have its own record player. And once you get into that layer, if you get stuck on that record player, then that record player is going to, it's going to pull you into programs, patterns, mindsets, modes of functioning, and ways of existing based off of your own ancestral lineage being on that level of feeling state in the record player. And it's also going to bring you into collective feeling states of that record player. So how everyone else in the lineage and how the collective sit in that space when they're alone there is what's going to come up for you. And so if you're down in those spaces and it's telling you, go drink alcohol, go do drugs, like you just got to forget, it's going to tell you things like this. And that's that record player. That's that tiny self that I was talking about. That's that programmed self. That's the disconnected self. It's going to tell you things like that, right? When you're sad and it's telling you, just give up, it doesn't matter, you're garbage. That's that record player. That's what that is. That's the record player playing a record, right? And we don't have to do that. The way out of the emotional states is by slowing down and loving yourself in that space, companioning yourself there, giving yourself love, care, and attention there. I love myself even here. It's okay that I'm here. It's okay that I'm feeling this. Humans feel these things sometimes. It's okay. I'm all right. And that will pop you from that record player up into your conscious self. You're literally, if the middle space between those is neutral, that's the 0 point, really. It'll pop you from that feeling state way down there up into the neutral space, just by loving yourself, just by companioning yourself, just by slowing down into yourself. When we do that, we pop ourselves off the record. And the record's not even you. That's not even you. It's that little self that's telling you to feel better. People in this state do these things. And they're terrible things. They're the toxic distractions, right? No. That's where strong mother no comes in. No, I'm not doing that. Stop it. Get out of here. And that's the really important part when we get down into helplessness and hopelessness, when we feel like we've lost everything. I'm losing everything. I'm a failure. I lost my job. I'm a failure. I lost this relationship. I'm a failure. I have no money. I'm a failure. I can't pay my bills. I'm letting everyone down. I'm a failure. That's helplessness and hopelessness, and that's a part of the record player. And when we get down into that space, that's when we go down into those harder emotional states and we're going into that record player and we're in the separated self. That's where the darkness can access us. That's where the shadow realm can access us. If we're in our wholeness, if we're happy and joyful and feeling good, it generally can't access us from there, right? But it can access us down here. It's like the entrance point, right? So when you're down there, it's not just the record player, which does say some of these things depending on the ancestral lineage. So if you come from an ancestral lineage where there has been a lot of unaliving, then that is going to be part of the record player. That's going to be part of the record player trying to tell you this thing, because that's how people coped in the history. And in general, in the human collective, sometimes in the slavery matrix, that was down in the hopelessness and the helplessness. Now, hopeless and helplessness is a natural, normal human experience. We feel that here. It's okay that we're feeling that state. I'm okay. I'm all right. That's a heavy feeling state that's asking for more love. The deeper down that feeling state we go, the more love we need. The more companionship from inside ourselves we need. It's only the medicine inside you that's going to help you, because people outside you all day long can tell you things like, you're going to be okay, you're going to be all right, like get up, like don't let it take you down, know you're loved, people love you, we love you, you're needed. They can tell you all day long, and it makes zero impact on you if you're not loving your own self. It's filling a cup that's pouring out the bottom. No amount of anybody saying that to you is going to impact you at all, which is why it doesn't impact people in these feeling states, because it's not other people's love that they need, it's their own. And that's part of this initiatory experience that the collective humans were going through last summerish. It was some people were already going down into that space. Helplessness, hopelessness, I'm no good, I'm a burden, I'm not helping anybody, I'm a failure, nobody really loves me, I hate myself. And when we're down in that space, the initiation is, are you going to save yourself? Are you going to companion yourself? And by companioning ourselves, what I mean is, when we get down in that space and that dark energy starts to enter, that evil energy, which is also called the pain space of God, that shadow is going to try to enter because it gets fed by your pain. Pain feeds pain. So when you go into these pain spaces and you just flounder there without loving yourself into wholeness, if you just stress and stress and stress and worry and worry and worry and hate yourself all day long, if your internal voices are hate, you're feeding the pain spaces. And then your pain spaces are getting stronger, and then the external realm's pain spaces are getting stronger. So what do we need to do there? We need to love ourselves into wholeness. We need to slow down enough to access that mothering energy from inside of us. And one time the God Source told me we have 3 mothers. We have our human mother. We have the earth mother. And we have the universe, which is also our mother. And when one mother can't give you the love you need, then you can access the other mothers. Because humans are humans. We're following journeys. We're doing our own thing. We have our own trauma. We have our own pathways. We have our own lessons. We have our own things to learn. So because we're doing our own journeys and in our own pain spaces, and maybe working on ourselves and maybe not working on ourselves, maybe existing from disconnection or maybe existing from connection, we're going to hurt each other. That's what humans do. It's part of the human experience. It's part of the human journey. And the medicine is inside of you. I can love myself even here. Even when when my human mother doesn't love me, the earth mother does. Go lay on the dirt, go lay on the grass. You'll feel the love, right? And even when I can't feel the love of my earth mother, the universe loves me, right? And literally you have a guardian angel in your belly. You have a guardian angel that you're basically inside a guardian angel, like everyone's born with one, right? And I can't remember if I mentioned that yet, but the God Source told me that everybody has a guardian angel when they're born here, because the God Source knew that when we came in, it was going to be hard. It was going to be difficult. We were going to struggle. Why? Because people struggle on the earth plane. We struggle when the life is based off free will unfolding. So it's the free will of all unfolding. It's unpredictable. And in reality, the God Source is all timelines, all spaces. The God Source is all of it. It's all of it, and it's looking at itself in those spaces. So when we're in helplessness and hopelessness, the God Source is getting a flavor of what it's like to be in helplessness and hopelessness, what it's like for a human being to be in helplessness and hopelessness. And in that space, we can access the God Source from within, from in our own center of self, from our own connection, from our soul, right? But we also have a guardian angel in our belly that's here to love us through it all. So when we need a little extra love, our guardian angel is there to love us through it. And because the God Source knew there was going to be all kinds of things here, like times of inflation and times of not inflation are equally the God Source. They're equally the unfolding of life, which is a part of the God Source, right? It is it. So it's all the timelines. And because it's a bigger living being, it's looking to be loved in all of its spaces, including its pain spaces. And when it's going through difficult experiences, it's looking for love there too. And we can end up loving it there by loving ourselves there. When we love ourselves, we become love. And we love it too. And even though, like I could say, I don't love this experience of being in helplessness and hopelessness, no, but I love myself inside of it. I can love myself inside of it. I can give myself safety inside of it. I can companion myself even here. And if I need a little extra, I can access that angel who's saying, I love you everywhere. I love you no matter what experience you go through. I'm loving you. I will love you in all spaces. And ultimately, that is the God Source. The God Source loves you in all spaces because it's learning to love itself in all spaces, which is why we journey this way. So what the God Source was telling me about loss, when we get down to those spaces of loss and we say to ourselves, oh my God, I lost my house, I lost my stuff, I lost my dog, I lost my wife, I lost everything. I'm nothing, I'm garbage, I have nothing. And the God Source said, that's not true. That is not true. When we lose all those things, what you didn't lose is yourself. You're still here. You're still existing. You're still alive. You still have all your gifts. You still have all your abilities. You still have all of your ways of existing. You have your, whatever you learn to do in this life, you still have those abilities, right? You're the tool. You still have you. And if you let go of all of that, if you just let it all go, and that's what we have to do sometimes. We have to just let it go. It's like a giant heavy weight. And if I can let it suffocate me to death if I just hold it on top of myself and just say, oh no, like it's gonna kill me. Or I can literally let it go. And I can say, oh well, I'm not gonna hold that. People have start over from nothing before. What's one of the things we're afraid of? Judgment. But people are going to judge me, but people are going to look at me a certain way. That's their story. That's not your story. Your job isn't to change everybody else's story or to be something that everybody else needs in their story. It's your job to create your own story and to be who you came here to be in your story. And I guarantee you, if you're in this experience, you are always going to go through that experience. It's a part of your pathway. It's a part of your lessons. It's a part of learning. It's a part of learning, who am I? Am I the caretaker? Am I the father? Am I the husband? Am I the owner of the house? No, that's not who you are. Those are aspects, those are roles that you're playing, and everybody deserves to be loved in any and all roles, right? But they're just roles. Who are you? You're a human that's here to fully experience. That's who you are. You're a unique human being who's experiencing through this human. And you have a very particular lineage. This body that you're in goes back to a particular lineage. Peoples who existed certain ways, right? And when you're in this body, you're helping those peoples and you're helping the earth plane, right? You're not your roles. You're greater than that. You're the life force frequency that's inside of you. You're the soul that's inside of you experiencing this human. And humans sometimes fail. Humans sometimes lose things. Humans sometimes trip and fall and have their face right in the mud. And lots of humans have gone through that. That's okay. That's all right. I'm safe even here. I'm whole even here. I can figure this out too. And when I calm down and I love myself even here, and I companion myself even here, and I give myself love, care, attention, I love myself even here. I'm whole even here. I'm safe even here. It comes from inside of me. It doesn't come from this experience that I'm in. I'm going to figure this out. I always figure it out. You're going to figure it out. You do always figure it out. And when you begin to access your own medicine and you begin to love yourself even there and you begin to companion yourself even there, what happens is you're going to start to open up to the companioning and the help and the assistances of the people around you. And people are out there. People want to help you. And sometimes we're like, I get this all the time with clients where they're like, no one's here for me. No one's going to help me. And I get that experience. I get that you're feeling that way and you need to love yourself in that space. You need to companion yourself in that space. And sometimes they aren't wrong. Sometimes it is them doing it alone, but it isn't them doing it alone. It's them doing it with their own soul. It's them doing it with their own helper team. It's them doing it with the God source, inside of them. Maybe they have dogs, maybe they have plants. You're never alone. You have angels, ancestors, elementals all around you. You are never alone. You're not doing this alone. And oftentimes when they start to ask for help or assistance with those people around them, they're shocked by the people that help. And they're like, I would never have thought so. She's always, a bitch to me. And she came through. Yeah, because you helped yourself first and then you opened up to help. So the program is that you're going to receive help, right? But you can't receive the help until you open up to help inside yourself first, or until you help your own self first. And then you become help, and then help begins to attract to you, right? So even when you lose everything, you didn't lose everything. You still have yourself. So that wasn't actually true. No, I still have me here, and your creativity. And when we let go of all that stuff, it's like we have a blank slate, then we'll start again. And lots of us have lost everything at points in time. We had to move out of somewhere quickly, and we had to leave everything behind, or we had to leave a toxic partner. We had to leave everything behind. Or maybe we tried to start a business and we lost everything, you know? Or our family systems that we're embedded in have lost everything. And yeah, was it hard? Sure, it was hard. It's hard on the earth plane. Lots of parts of the pathway are hard. When we're walking this pathway, where sometimes there's really steep hills and cragged areas, you know, and maybe we have to go around lava, or maybe there's a big spider patch we have to walk around, right? My biggest nightmare, right? And even that I can neutralize, harmonize, and alchemize. I'm not going to give my power. I'm not going to fear that thing. I'm not going to give my power to the spider patch. I'm not going to give my power to the loss of the house. I'm not going to give my power to inflation. Fuck you. No. I choose to take my power back even here. I choose to love myself into wholeness even here. I choose to companion myself even here. And when I do that, when I take back my power in that way, I begin to companion myself. And I can still be scared. Scared is a natural, normal human experience. It's okay to be scared. I can love myself as I'm scared, and I can still take those steps. So, wow, that looks like a really steep cliff I'm about to, crawl. I'm scared, and that's okay, and I'm going to do it anyways, because then I'm going to get to the top, and I'll be standing on the top looking at the most beautiful view I've ever seen, and I'll be like, holy smokes, I did it. I can't believe I did it. Wow. Evie, she says, wow. So you see, laughter, I was speaking about that earlier. Laughter is the best medicine. That's what they say, because laughter breaks up a dark space. It's actually the quickest and easiest way out of that space. And so sometimes people will laugh in what people think are inappropriate spaces. And what they're trying to do is break up the space. They're using a certain frequency to break up the frequency of that space. So laughter immediately brings you to those higher frequencies that can bring you to the middle. So laughter is very important, right? But it has to be real laughter. That's why a lot of monks and, high gurus use laughter, because it breaks up a space. It's a high frequency energy that breaks up space. And obviously dog snoring breaks up a space. Right? So I'm not done yet. I have to return to that space. So down in that space of helplessness and hopelessness, when we feel at our lowest, when we feel the most scared, down in that space, we're going to be initiated into, we're going to go through an initiation. It's like a rebirth experience. And almost all of us are going to be faced with it at some point in time. And when we're down in that space, it's going to ask you, you're going to hear the darkness. You're going to hear the dark voices, the evil. And they're going to say things to you like, exit this plane of existence. Unalive yourself. You're garbage. You're trash. You're a burden. You're useless. No one loves you. Those are the things they're going to throw at you. They're going to throw the darkest things at you to make you hurt more, so that as you hurt more, they can feed off your energy, because you're actually a hugely light being. If you feel things big, you're a hugely light being. As far as you can go into the darkness, you can go into the light. And really what they want to feed off is your life force frequency. So when you're down in that space, the key is going to be to companion yourself. When we're down there, no one else is down there with us. We're literally down there by ourselves. No one else is down there. No one else can save us there. That's why when people get to this space and unalive themselves, and the loved ones around them blame themselves, they think, I should have done something different. I should have done something more. What could have I done more? How didn't I see this thing? This is my fault. So they feel guilt and shame, which then brings them down into those spaces, which is again asking us to companion ourselves even here. Love yourself even here. You're safe even here. And then you'll begin to drop down into the truth. And the truth was, this isn't yours. This was never yours. When they're down there, they have to face themselves. No one can save them from that space. We can only save ourselves there. And when we get down there, so you got to think of it like this. If you have a best friend, and when we best friend ourselves, just switching hands. When you have a best friend and you're best friending yourself, and if somebody was saying to your best friend, if somebody was saying, unalive yourself, you're not worthy, you're garbage, you're trash, saying, you're a burden, no one loves you, you're disgusting, you failed. If somebody's saying that to your best friend, what are you going to say back? Right? I know what I'm going to say back. I'm going to say, fuck you. Fuck you, shut up. Don't talk to my best friend that way. Back up. Shut the fuck up. You're nothing. She's everything. You're nothing. Get the hell out of here. Fuck off. And that's us taking back our power even there. That's you standing in your own power against that darkness, against the evil. And you're saying, fuck off and get out of here. And when you do, it does. This is a free will universe. It has to listen to you. It begins to dissipate itself. It begins to disappear because you're not feeding it. You're disintegrating it. And that is the lesson in this time period. That's one of the initiations that we're going to go through. What are we going to say to ourselves there? And what we're going to say to ourselves is, I love you even here. You're whole even here. I got your back, girl. And who's having my back there? That's my soul, right? My human's hurting and my soul's got my back, right? My higher self has my back. The sacred mother inside of me has my back. And it's saying, fuck you and fuck off and get out of me. You're not even real. You're a repeating a disc. You're a repeating recorder. You're everybody else's hurt and pain. You're the pain of the universe. Get the fuck out of here. No. And then you're going to start to collapse that thing. It's going to disintegrate. It's going to disappear out of you. And you're going to say, I love you even here. You're safe even here. And at that point, hopefully, if you're that deep into the lower pain spaces, you're going to want to get some help and assistance. That's where you're going to say, hey, I need some help. You know, I just fought the battle of my life. And even if we're in the upper pain spaces of just upset, annoyance, frustration, sadness, even if we're in those pain spaces, we can also use that technique of facing the voices in the recorder, in the record player, right? Get out of here. No. It's not even true. That's not even real. That's not even my voice. I can tell you right now, that's not your voice. Think about your own voice, right? Your actual human voice is not going to say things like that to you. It sounds like your voice. Yeah. Just like God sounds like my voice too. You get to discern. You are the discerner. Is this my voice? No. Usually when humans have those voices inside of them, they're actually our parents' voices or our teachers' voices. There's some other voice from outside of us that told us things about ourselves. And then we repeated it in this record player to ourselves. And we do that because the human thinks if something's repeated to me enough times and then I repeat it to myself, that's going to get me moving. That's going to get fire behind me. That's going to get me doing things. And that's the toxic patriarchy. That's you internalizing the slaver and then saying slaver shit to yourself. The controller, the forcer. No. I can disintegrate all of that back to dust. Heck no. Right? Face the gremlins. Face those little gremlins. They're not you. They're recorders. The recorders of the external realm or of the collective unconsciousness or of these shadow spaces of others, because if others are telling you you're stupid, dumb, not good enough, a burden, that's their pain spaces. That's something coming through them. That's their darkness that they're implementing onto you. And I can clear that with my own love. That's how you get rid of that. You disintegrate it back to dust. I face it with my own companionship. Get out of here. Shut up. You're not even mine. No. I disintegrate you back to dust. You're disgusting. That's gross. You don't say that shit to people. No. Hell no. My job is to love myself into wholeness, have compassion for myself, especially where it hurts the most. And that hurts. And we don't have to do that to ourselves. They trained us to so that we kept ourselves low and codependent on other people to make us feel better. And then asking, what can I do to make you feel better so that I can feel better? And then we wait for them to finally love us. We wait for them to finally not feel a burden to them. We wait for all that in the external realm. We wait for the inflation to stop. We wait for ourselves to not be poor until we're going to love ourselves. We wait for ourselves to not have a job until we love ourselves. What? Heck no. No. I'm not waiting. I'm loving myself even here. I'm clearing these voices. I'm clearing these modes of functioning. I'm clearing these ways of existing. I get to choose who I listen to, and I'm going to listen to the God source. I'm going to listen to the angels. I'm going to listen to my team, the angels, the ancestors, and elementals that are saying, come on, girl, you got this. Love yourself here. We love you. We're here with you. That's what I discern. That's their voices. And I'm like, oh, they're not real. But these things over here are the dark voices, the pain spaces, the shadow voices. They're real. No, they're not. Shut up, voices. Shut up. Get out of me. I take back my power from those voices. I don't have to fear them. I need to shut them the fuck down. I need to disintegrate them back to dust. I need to use the power voices of the light, those ones that are loving me into wholeness, those ones that believe in me. I believe in you. You're awesome. You're amazing. You got this. I love you even here. Yeah, I get to discern which voice I listen to. I have free will, and I'm going to listen to them so that I got a team behind me, inside of me, when I have to face these difficult human experiences. And when people go towards unaliving, they're going towards wanting to stop the pain. But you don't stop the pain by unaliving, because what happens is now your body gets buried in the Mother Earth and it's got all that pain in it. And then what also happens is that you have to come back into another life, and now you have to go into the life at the same frequency that you exit this life. So you exit with all that suffering and pain and everything that you weren't able to face and companion yourselves inside of. So in the next lifetime, you're going to be challenged in the same ways. So you don't escape it. Those are your lessons. You're going to come back with the same lessons. Right? And people are like, oh God, I don't want to come back here. I don't want to do this again. Well, get your lessons this time, number one. And number two, when you get your lessons, when you get into freedom, when you learn I'm free and I can free myself, when you cross over, you actually cross over in freedom. And you realize, oh my Lord, in freedom, Evie's really snoring over here. In freedom, when I cross in freedom, I get to choose what life I come back into. So I get to, well, for one thing, I'll be at the freedom frequency, but also at the freedom frequency, we realize, wait, I don't have to keep repeating on the earth plane. I'm a free being. That means I can go anywhere. And I believe there's other pockets of existence. This isn't the only pocket of existence. There's many, many pockets of existence. The way into and out of those pockets of existence typically is death. You have to die, you cross over, you do your how did I do here? You go through that. And depending on the frequency that you exit, your options for what you can go into are presented to you, and then you come back in. Now, if I really get into that freedom matrix and I'm no longer stuck in the slavery matrix, I can actually open up those other pockets. And in some of those other pockets, I believe this is what the light workers are talking about when they say, you know, I'm not from here, I came from somewhere else. They came from another pocket. And in that pocket, they were, you know, they didn't have to worry about, are people lying? You know, are they telling the truth? Are they hiding things? Like, that's us using our stomach brain instead of the head, because the head can't tell what's lying. It's based off probability. The stomach brain can tell if someone's lying because it's based off frequency. But in these other pockets of existence, we didn't have to do that. Everybody was in alignment. Everybody was already in alignment. People existed from alignment, which is also why some of us are, you know, that's one of our lessons being a human being, is that not everybody's existing from alignment. You can't trust everybody. And that's the thing. You can only trust yourself, and then discern. You have to discern, is this person telling the truth or are they not? Because humans don't have to tell the truth. Some humans are disconnected, and disconnected humans will lie to your face and literally, you know, harm you, you know, because they haven't learned the lesson yet of connecting to their soul and freeing themselves. Because on the earth plane, part of the human's experience is, am I going to live disconnected, or am I going to live in wholeness? Am I going to access my own soul and the God source? Right? So we have to challenge that space ourselves. Only we can challenge those spaces. It's something that we have to go through ourselves. Not by ourselves, even though we are by ourselves. We're not by ourselves. We have the angels, the ancestors, the elementals. You have your soul. You have your body there with you. You have your buddies there, which is also why we need to make buddies with our buddies, because then we know they're there with us. Oh, buddies, you're all here with me. Thank you for going through this existence with me. Thank you for always being with me. Thank you for always loving me. Thank you, buddies. I love you, buddies. Right? I believe in you. You can do this. Once you have the information, right? Once we have the information, we know what's happening. Once we know what's happening, we can use this information, right? So on the other side of this, and some people are going to believe in this, and some people are not going to believe in this, and it's up to you to what you believe in. But, and I mean, conspiracy theorists have been talking about this for a long time, but it's not just a conspiracy. There's also documentation that came out from like FBI, CIA, you know, paperworks and stuff like that. See the voice. Voice is coming up, but I'm going to speak it anyway. That talks about human created devices that possibly they use on people to make you think a certain way. They beam this device at you, and then you might think certain ways, and that's a device that's making you think those ways. And again, what you would do is you would companion yourself there. You would love yourself even there. And in truth and reality, I'm not going to fear the devices. If I fear the device, I'm going to give my power to the device, and then the device has my power, and I'm going to be in weakness, and it's going to use that opening to control me, to do something to me, right? And no, I'm a free will being. I'm in control of my own cell form, of my cells. I'm in control of my own self. I'm in control of my own auric space, right? I'm in control of my own self. Right? So I get to program my own self. That's the godsend of this existence. That's why when I access my slowing down and I access my own compassion and love and safety for myself, I access my own internal programming and what I'm going to agree to and what I'm not going to agree to. And I don't agree to that. Hell no. Sacred Mother, no. I collapse all programs that have to do with that. Not in my world, not in my existence, not in my reality. I'm not doing that. No. No. Right? The power of no. Right? So firstly, I'm going to take my power back exactly in that way. I'm going to collapse all that. But also, at one point in time, I had a conversation with a tree, a big old tree that's in my mom's yard. And that tree is grumpy. That was a grumpy tree, right? And it told me, it was angry, and it said, do you know what you're sitting on right now? Because I was sitting on this deck, right? And I'm like, wood? Yeah, that's my brothers and sisters. Did anybody ask you if you could cut that wood? I doubt anybody asked if they could cut that wood. Yeah, that's rude. That's extraordinarily rude. It's very non-consensual. Right? Grapey. No. And I'm like, oh, geez, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry about that. What about that book in your hand? That notebook? I was taking notes. I was doing therapy outside. Did anybody ask us if you could cut our bodies for that notebook? No, probably not. No, sorry about that. Right? Did anybody ask us if I want to listen to you talking all day long? As I was doing therapy, I was like, oh, geez, yeah, no, probably not. Sorry, I probably didn't ask. Do you want to? Well, now that I asked, it didn't mind so much. It didn't mind so much because it's my brothers and sisters, it's my buddies, it's my friends, and we're not talking to them. And they said, we want to be considered in the decision making. And it told me that a long, long time ago, humans considered the trees in their decision making, the plants. Right? The plant kingdom was part of the conversation. And the animal kingdoms were part of the conversations. We considered them in our choice making. So when you live in wholeness, you consider all the other living beings as well. And it said, you know why humans did their meetings in the forest? So that they were considered. So that the plants and the animals were considered. And I said, oh, okay, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. That's wise, right? And it told me at that time period, we're your brothers and sisters. We love you. We're your family, right? And you're over here paying attention to all of these non-natural things like electronics, like the phone and the TV and the electronics and, the microwave and the fridge. And like, I'm listening to them and they're driving me crazy, the fans. And I'm like, oh, the sounds. And the trees like, calm down. You don't have to listen to them. Listen to us. Listen to the natural kingdom. Don't receive the non-natural frequencies. Receive the natural frequencies. We're over here giving you natural frequencies all day long. Just make a choice. Listen to us. Connect into us. And that's a free will choice. I can do that. We can do that. That's a choice I could make. And so when you think about these weapons that some humans are creating, like what kind of human is creating that kind of weapon? That's in that space of hard no. That's power, control, and force. And I'm telling you, those ideas are coming from the dark side of the rainbow. They're coming from the shadow realm, friend. Heck no. We don't have to live this way. We don't have to war. We don't have to get violent. We don't have to do these things. There's another way of existing, and it's called freedom, where we're all sharing, where we're working together as a whole. And it's a possibility. It's how we were created to exist. It's our baseline. It's underneath of all the lies, all the reversals. It's underneath of the slavery matrix. When we clear the slavery matrix, what's left? Truth, freedom, right? So people that are getting conscious, people that are connected to themselves, people that are in their own freedom, in their own wholeness, we can just say, I'm not taking part in that realm. That's lower frequency. They're way down below you, friend. When you get conscious and you get into wholeness and you begin to take back your power and you're in freedom, you're on floor 10 and they're on floor 2. They actually can't touch you with a 10-foot pole. You don't have to fear them. You just need to take back your power from it and collapse it back to dust. Heck no. And then face this way and put your energy into those things that you love. Put your energy into the things that are going to bring you joy and happiness from your soul. Is this going to bring me joy and happiness from my soul? Is starting a garden going to bring me joy and happiness from my soul? Is that going to feed my soul? And if it feeds my soul, it's going to feed everything else as well. And that's how I can double check. Is this a choice from my soul? So if it feeds my soul, yes, this is going to feed my soul, and it's going to feed the earth plane. And literally it's going to feed, a bunch of human beings and a bunch of animals and insects. So that's an amazing choice. That's in alignment, right? I'm going to choose that from joy. Creating a machine that alters people's brains so that they unalive, or creating a machine so that you aim it at them and they have a heart attack. I can't remember what that machine was called, but you can look it up. It's real. Those machines are the darkness. That shadow realm, that's not coming from a soul friend. When you ask for it, is that going to make me joy and happiness? That's going to make your head joy and happiness. That's going to make the intellect joy and happiness. The disconnected head that thinks, if I make this, then I can control someone else. I can force them to give me their gold, right? What the heck? That's disgusting. Heck no. Sacred Mother says no. She's the mother of all, and she's saying no. Is that going to benefit the plants and animals? No. Selfish and disgusting and sick. No. Not in my world, not in my existence, not in my reality. I'm not doing that. Heck no. I'm going to love myself, and it's Evie saying no. That's the animal kingdom. They're saying no. They don't want it either. That's some weird shit. No. It's not in alignment with nature. It's not in alignment with the universe. It's not in alignment with all things benefiting. So that's a no. And I can collapse that back to dust, and I can take my power back from those things. I don't have to fear these things. I'm giving my power to the darkness. Now it's going to feed off it and create more of its sick shit. I don't think so, friend. No. I take my life force frequency back. I take my focus back. I take my energy back. I take my energy in motion. I take my emotion back. And I alchemize those spaces back to dust. And I make choices inside of myself to connect into the natural kingdom, to be fed by the natural kingdom, to hear the natural kingdom, which is always loving me. I choose love. Right? And love is peaceful. Peace out, right? Love is peaceful. How do I know I'm in a state of love? I'm in a peaceful state, right? I'm being companioned. I'm being accompanied. Okay. I think that's it for this one. So I'm going to do a release. I'm going to clear all of that. And sometimes when I'm pulling the information through, it can feel really heavy. And people will have a million questions. Wait until we do the clearing. Okay? Source God Mother, we acknowledge and accept everything that we've been speaking of so far today, which really are, the most difficult human experiences. It's to the far extreme of the darkness, of the hard emotions. And those aren't bad emotions. They're just difficult emotions. They're painful emotions. They're intensely painful. And they're not wrong and bad. They're just part of the human experience. And we have a right to feel those spaces as well, because when we feel it, we can heal it. And the old way of existing was to get trapped in the program, was to get trapped in the record player, and to hear the voices that were in the record player, to hear the pain spaces speaking their own pain words and not deciphering the difference that this isn't even mine and I don't have to do this, and I can best friend myself even here. I can love myself into wholeness even here. I can challenge those voices directly, and I can tell them to shut the fuck up. Get out of here. You're not welcome in here. No, I can discern the golden voices. I can discern the aligned voices that are saying, we love you even here. We believe in you. You got this. Come on, girl. Love yourself deeply here. This is where you need the most love. It's okay that you're here. I love you even here. And I'm here with you. You're not alone. You got the soul here too. You got the higher self here too. You got your angel in your belly. You got the God source here too. And even this experience is of the God source. And even this experience is asking for love. And I can love myself even here. And I'm so sorry that I didn't know that. And I'm so sorry that I went in those spaces. I added to the pain spaces. I added to the insanity of those pain spaces, the chaos of those pain spaces. Cutting is another one that's in these spaces. And the children do this like crazy, and either even showing it in the shows that are giving them more toxic ideas, more programming through the TV, through the shows, through the media, that this is what you do there. No, this isn't what you do there. What you do is you love yourself into wholeness here. You companion yourself there. You give yourself love even here. And what do kids need that are in these spaces? They need loving space held for them. And all you can do is regulate yourself so that they can regulate. And when you're not regulated, the other person can't regulate. So when people are in these really dark spaces, what they need is they need someone who's regulated and someone who's in a state of love, loving them own self first, and then holding unconditional love for the other, knowing that they can't fix, save, or heal the other. They can't talk them into anything. They have to hold loving space for them so that they can go through that themselves and hopefully win that journey, hopefully beat that initiation, hopefully make it through it alive, and then disintegrate that back to dust. And for those of us that have been there, we're going to heal those belief systems, those pain spaces, those old modes of functioning, those ways of existing, those mindsets, those trigger points, those agreements. We're going to heal the toxic dynamics within ourselves that we weren't challenging, and the toxic dynamics outside of ourselves that we weren't challenging, but we're going to disintegrate them back to dust. We don't have to do this. That's an old mode of functioning. That's the slavery matrix. And that's how the slavery matrix keeps you sick. That's how the slavery matrix keeps you codependent on it, and codependent on things in the external realm, and in a state of thinking you can't get free. No, I can get free. I free myself. Your savior is you. You are always going to save you. It's not coming from outside of us. The more we wait for somebody to finally save us from this, it's you that's going to save you by facing the space and alchemizing it. Going through the initiation and coming back to the light. On the other side of all that pain and suffering is light, and it's trying to access you. And when you get through it, boom, you're going to be like filled with so much light. I've gone through all these pain spaces, and on the other side of it was light. Always on the other side of it is light. When you look at the pain, when you look at the suffering, when you look at the helplessness and hopelessness, and you give up into it, you let it go, you'll feel waves and waves of feelings. And if you hold yourself there, if you love yourself in those waves of feelings, on the other side of it is light. Every single time. Every single time I've gone through the waves of feeling, and I've felt wretched helplessness and hopelessness. I felt wretched pain and suffering and fear and scared, and I felt wretched sadness. Intense waves of sadness. And yeah, it sucked going through it. But I wasn't alone there. I companioned myself. I told myself it's okay to be here. Humans feel this sometimes. And there's waves and waves and waves of it because you've never allowed it to come out of you. It's you emptying the cup. And when it comes out, you're just, I oftentimes laugh on the other side. I start to laugh. I see that light and I begin to laugh. And I'm like, oh my God, the light's here. I made it through. And I'm in this really weird thing where I'm bawling and then laughing and then bawling and then laughing. and I'm like, wow, what the heck is happening here? And I'm making it through. And then I get to the point when I'm just laughing. And I feel the lightest light that I ever felt because I dumped the debris out of this human. And on the other side is always the light, my friend. I can tell you that. I guarantee you that. When you just hold pain and stay in pain and you're not companioning yourself, you don't come out to the light because you're not companioning yourself. You're not bringing the love. You just feel pain, pain, and more pain. And lots of people are like, I never came through to the light. That's because you weren't companioning yourself there. When you companion yourself there, when you say, it's okay that I'm here, I'm okay, I'm all right, oh wow, something's coming up, it's okay, I'm all right. You're utilizing that internal angel, you're utilizing your soul, your higher self there. Then it's with you and it's going to bring you all the way through to the light. I guarantee you, friend. And I can believe in this. And I can believe in myself because there's a lot of humans right now going through struggle. And struggles asking for your companionship. Knowing that you're going to be okay. You're going to be all right. You're going to figure this out. 5 years from now, if you give yourself the right to figure this out, 5 years from now, you're going to look back at this and you're going to be like, oh my God, I've had such a good life now. Like so many beautiful, wonderful things have happened. And I didn't know that this stuff was going to happen to me because I was so down in that darkness and I thought all the crap was going to happen and my life was crap and it was only going to be crap. No, it's a journey. Nothing stays the same forever. Everything moves. The key of this existence is movement. And how do I get this space moving? I companion myself. I love myself even here. I'm safe even here. And I tell the voices that aren't my voices to shut the hell up. Get out of here. Scoot. Skedaddle. Get out. I face the gremlins. The little gremlins in there and I collapse them back to dust. Get the hell out of here. You're nothing. You're an illusionary pain space. Get out. I bring love into myself here. Your job isn't to love the gremlin. Your job is to love yourself. The gremlin's job is to love the gremlin. The demon's job is to love the demon. It ain't your job. Your job is to say no. You're a human. Your job is to say no and to get it the hell out of you. Get out of here. No. And we clear that all now. We neutralize, harmonize, and alchemize those modes of functioning, those ways of existing, those mindsets, those trigger points, binds, barriers, anchor points, contracts. No, we're not doing that anymore. We're not doing it to the darkness in any way or form, including the creations that came from it. Heck no, we're done with that. We're done. No, it's not in alignment. It's not part of Sacred Mother. And everything that's not part of Sacred Mother, when we come into freedom, disintegrates itself. When you bring that much light into the existence, when you bring in that much freedom, the old way, the lesser way begins to disintegrate back to dust. And that's how we evolute beyond it. And I want that, God. Help me with that, including inside of me. And I clear, cleanse, and heal all of those pain spaces, those multi-generational wound spaces, those toxic dynamics, those false illusions from our mind, body, spirit, and souls, those pain spaces inside of us, that information that I tucked into the spider back, that pain that I tucked into the spider back, I disintegrate all of that back to dust. I let it go, I let it go, I let it go. I forgive myself for not knowing any different, any better. I clear the back, the spine, the heart, the lungs. I clear the cellular and energetic structures. I clear the feet. I clear the aura, the auric space. I neutralize, harmonize, and alchemize all of that back to dust, including the old DNA and RNA. I disintegrate it back to dust. I forgive, and forgive some more. I quantum forgive that this happens here. Right? I clear it, and clear it some more. I disintegrate it back to dust. And as I disintegrate it back to dust, I initiate the new. I remember how we were meant to exist. I initiate the new DNA and RNA, and I reconfigure it for each unique blueprint. I remember how we were meant to exist. I remember that we were meant to connect into nature, into what loves us, into what's natural, into the natural frequencies. And I collapse the unnatural back to dust. I clear it, and clear it some more, including all drama, karma, trauma, pulling out the dharma, neutralizing, purifying, clearing, cleansing, and healing from the cellular, energetic, and magnetic structures, and from the subconscious, unconscious, and conscious minds, pulling all of that through to oneness, to wholeness, to peace, to truth, to love. Welcoming those helper frequencies and helper beings into these spaces to continue to love us in these spaces, to continue to guide us, to continue to hold this loving space for us. Help us to expand ourselves out into these modes of functioning and ways of existing that we are always meant to exist within, and help us to disintegrate the old and access the new and utilize the new. Release through the children and up through the ancestral webs, past lifetimes and their webs, and for the collective universal who are open to it at this time, including all planetary systems and on all sides of the veil. I quantum forgive that this happens on the earth plane, that this happened to me, that this happens to my loved ones, that we did this to each other, that we didn't know any different or better. I forgive it, and I forgive it some more. And I quantum purify, back to the God Source origins. And I welcome those collective healed helpers, those beings of light, to continue to help us, to continue to guide us, to continue to love us, to continue to hold loving space for us. Those doctors, healers, and nurses in all realms of existence to disintegrate this back to dust. I can't remember if I said that. I'm going to say it again. If I didn't, for some reason, we're needing double healings here, because this is healing the body. This is healing the brain. This is healing the brain, body, heart connection. This is healing our connection to our souls. This is disintegrating back to dust the inability to discern the difference between the voices, and choosing as a free will being, what voice do I choose to listen to? Well, I'm sure as heck not listening to the dark voices. Heck no, I'm going to listen to the light. The ones that are encouraging me, loving me, guiding me, holding loving space for me. And they're there the whole time, whether you're listening to them or not, they're there. You're just not listening to them. You've blocked them. But you need to open that blockage. And God, please open that blockage. That's what it wants us to do. We disintegrate that blockage back to dust. That's a choice we make. And I don't have to wait for somebody to give me the permission. I give myself the permissions to do this now. And I give so much gratitude and so much thankfulness to those helper beings that are here with us, helping us, guiding us, loving us. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I love you. Thank you for being here with me. Thank you for helping me. Thank you for guiding me. Thank you for holding loving space for me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I love you. And continue to be here with me, and I'll continue to be here with you. I'll listen to you and help you to do your journey and your purpose as you help me to do my journey and my purpose. And I clear, cleanse, and heal all of that now through all quantum fields, and I'm opening to receive for best and highest well-being. With the most ultimate of love and gratitude, I choose this. A little extra dog snore energy in here. And Source God Mother, I ask that you immediately evolute our systems for best and highest well-being of the systems within us and the systems around us, including those frequencies of our feet. We clear, cleanse, and heal all of those frequencies now, so that as we heal those frequencies of our feet, we're upgrading them. We're immediately evoluting them, so that as we ground down into our feet, we're into the insides of our feet. We're accessing everything that we need inside of ourselves. And we can step on the Mother Earth, and we can share frequencies with Mother Earth. And I'll do a healing on that into the future. There's a piece of information we need there. But it's about sharing energy. And she's your mother, and she loves you too. You're literally created of her body, just like you're created of your own human mother's body. And we're all created of the universe's body. So we have three mothers. We can access any of the three mothers. Right? And when your human mother can't give it to you, you say, Earth, I need your love. Give me some love. She'll give you her love all day long. Universe, I need your love. Give me your love. It'll give you her love all day long. You just have to open up to receiving the love. You got to ask for it and open to receiving it and know what you're receiving. And even our earth mothers our human mothers can surprise us sometimes. Sometimes if we really need love and we love ourselves into wholeness and companion ourselves, and then we ask them for love, even if you think they're not going to give me love, they might actually give you love. And you'll be like, holy shit, that was weird. That's because you were opening to that. And then the universe was using that to give it back to you. Right? That's what happens sometimes. Same as those helpers. What's important is that you ask, and someone will come through. Someone will come through, and you can trust that too. So Source God Mother, please root me into this universe, fully and completely root me into this universe and into the multiverses, so that I'm exchanging that life force frequency, that knowledge, that wisdom, that information, and that love of the natural kingdom, of my buddies, of my friends, of my family. Yes, I want that. Heck yeah. And I clear, cleanse, and heal all of that now through all quantum fields of existence, and I'm opening to receive for best and highest well-being. With the most ultimate of love and gratitude, I choose this. So I choose this and breathe. Okay, now paying attention to how you feel now. If you're feeling lightheaded, ground me to the insides of my feet. Please trigger my vagus nerve now. Might as well have an extra rush of love, right? Okay. Are you feeling lightheaded? Like, are you seeing certain colors? Are you feeling lighter? Are the questions gone? Like, what's happening inside of you? All right. Now, the last thing I just want to mention before I go is that when I was in that release, the God Source was showing me the importance of doing things that bring us joy. And it was saying kids that are suffering, a really good thing is to get them involved with a club or a crowd or a sport that they want to. And it's really important that you don't just pick it for them unless they won't pick anything at all. Then maybe in that case, you might say, okay, let's try this. If you don't like it, we'll try another thing. But it's really important that you pay attention, or you ask them, what do you really like? What do you like? And even if you think it's dumb or stupid or whatever, like, oh, they want to be a brownie. That's something I didn't even know about. I had a client that was a brownie about 5 years ago. A brony. Yeah, brony, which is like, it's a little pony crowd, and they would do these hoofs and they would punch the hoof, and honestly, I was like, that's the cutest thing ever, but the family didn't like it, and they didn't want her to be part of the brony crowd. But you know what, if that's what's going to bring her joy and happiness and help her to find her own voice and love for herself, then let her do it. It's a healthy crowd. What each of us need is that healthy crowd. It's that thing that's going to bring us joy and happiness. So like, if you're a bird watcher and you want to go bird watch, join a bird watching group. Even if you think, oh, that's dumb, that's stupid, like, don't stop. That's called judgment. Collapse it back to dust. Judgment comes from a voice that isn't yours. Disintegrate that back to dust. What's your soul saying? Is that going to bring you joy? Then go bird watch. Go bird watch and get your love from that space and engage yourself there. Give yourself something that's going to bring you joy. Somewhere where you're going to belong. Say you go to the bird watching crowd and you thought you were going to love it and you didn't love it. Well, don't go there anymore then. If you don't love it, don't go. You can stop too. I can say no. I can walk away if it wasn't what I thought it was. Maybe it was that crowd specifically that I joined. Then go and try another crowd, right? And if you don't like that thing, then try something else. Go try painting. Go try something else that's going to bring you joy and happiness. Go join a walking group. There's all kinds of things out there for us that can bring us joy and happiness. And if you want to do it by yourself, do it by yourself, because you're never alone. You got your soul. You got your body, right? You got your higher self. You got the angel in your belly. You have your billions of cells who love you in your body. You got them too. You're never alone. You got your internal ecosystem. It loves you too. And you can learn to love it. And when you learn to love it, it regulates itself. It gets healthy, right? So when we learn to love ourselves, we get healthy, right? We regulate. We start to bring love into places that haven't had it before. Don't judge what you want to try. Just go try it. The step's going to give you the truth, right? So yeah, that was the extra piece in there that the God Source wanted me to mention for all of you. So Practice this. Slow down. Love yourself into wholeness. Access your other voices. Discern what you want to hear. Tell those mean voices to shut up. Get the heck out of here. You're not even mine. I disintegrate you back to dust. You can say that right there. That's a code. That's a power code, friend. I disintegrate you back to dust. Get the hell out of here. And then you say, I want to hear God. I want to hear the God source. I want to hear the angels and the ancestors and the elementals. I want to hear the trees. I want to hear the plants and animals. I want to receive their love. Speak to me now, right? And different people get speaking different ways. These are the clear essences, right? You can get it through the mind and you can see imagery. You can get an immediate knowing, claircognizance, right? You can get it through the nose, the mouth. You can get it through the ears. You can actually hear the words. You know, I get almost all of them. Taste is the only one I don't get very often, but I do get it on occasion too. But I practiced it. How did I get them? I practiced them. I opened them. I believe in them. I made friends with them. Right? I opened up the connection. So when I say, tell me something beautiful, they'll tell me even right now, I love you. You're doing amazing. You're sharing this information and we wanted you to share this information. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for sharing the information that other people won't share. Thank you for listening to this information that other people won't listen to. Thank you for healing yourself. Thank you for trying to listen to us. Thank you for giving us an opportunity to help and assist you, which is their purpose. Their purpose is to help us. And we're not allowing them to do our purpose, just like my purpose is to help you. Right? So look at us all. Look how beautiful we are. Look at us in alignment. Look at us practicing freedom, practicing the feminine. And the feminine, if you connect into her, thank you, thank you, thank you for bringing me back to life. Thank you for remembering me. Thank you for nourishing me. Thank you for feeding me. And we nourish her when we slow down and love ourselves and give ourselves compassion. And she's a natural part of this kingdom. She deserves love. She deserves nourishment. She deserves to be a part. And that's when you're hearing her, you're also hearing your whole self that's like, thank you. Thank you for returning me to wholeness. Thank you. So thank you for being here and thank you for doing the work and thank you for listening. And if you put a comment, thank you for commenting your own story and for sharing with others and for sharing yourself. And just so you know, I'm watching the comments. I see you. I hear you. You're important. You're important too. Right? So lots of love to all of you from me and from the 3 dogs. We all love you. We're giving you loving energies. And from the Mother Earth and from this universe and from the God source. So much love coming at you. You just have to open to receiving it, right? Practice giving it to yourself. And when you give it to yourself, you'll be able to receive theirs. But we can't receive what we haven't given ourselves. So practice giving it to yourself. The medicine's inside you. So I'm going to love you and leave you. Have a beautiful day. May you all find the peace that you deserve.